Hi, so I'm going to demonstrate reciprocal teaching. Reciprocal teaching consists of four strategies. The four strategies are predicting, questioning, clarifying, and summarizing. When you start reciprocal teaching, you want to first do it either as a whole class or in a small group, and you want to demonstrate to the students all four steps. Then slowly let them start taking over till they are reading the reciprocal teaching. Reciprocal teaching teaches students how to be actively involved in their reading and in their learning. And there's also, I found a reciprocal teaching worksheet. In this, they can write down any predictions, and then they can go back and find support if you want them to do that. They can summarize at the end in this paragraph. Any questions they come across, they can write in this column. The bottom, they can write any words or phrases that they didn't understand, and then they can go back and clarify those words or phrases after the section or the book is done. So for this demonstration, I am reading The Glorious Flight Across the Channel with Louis Berlot. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a prediction, and I am going to predict that Louis Berlot is going to do something extraordinary with an aircraft machine. It all began one morning. Mr. Louis Berlot, his older daughter Alcesta, his daughter of 4 years Charmaine, his third daughter Suzette, his son Jeanette, their mama Alex, and their baby Gabrielle. Also the cat Manu, their little dog Arsena, and the big cockatoo Chloe just had their breakfast. So I'm clarifying that he's just introducing his family and giving us all their names. The year is 1901. The place is the city of Cambrai in France. It is a beautiful day. The sun is shining. Papa Berlot and all his family, except Manu the cat and Chloe the cockatoo, are going for a ride in their shiny new car. I predict something significant is going to happen on this car ride because they're pointing it out. As they roll up the street, they hear far above the sky a strange sound. Clackety, clackety, clack. Hark, says Papa Berlot. He does not look where he is going, and just ahead on the narrow street is the wagon of Alchemist Josette, full of pumpkin. Also his son Caesar and many cabbages. Crump goes the car into the cart of Alchemist Josette. The strange sound from the air is forgotten. I also want to predict that the sound he heard is some kind of air intrusion. Papa Berlot was driving very slowly, but even so the cart is on its side. Pumpkins all over. No one is hurt, but there are bruised cabbages and angry faces. Mr. Reyes, the policeman at Chelles Deville, poses his pencil. I'm going to write that down under clarification. I'm not sure what that means. But while I'm looking, I look at the picture of the policeman and I see that he's holding a notepad with a pencil. So I'm going to assume that posing his pencil meant he was about to write something down. Clackety, 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 clack. Out of the clouds right over their heads soars a great white airship, and a man is sitting in a basket driving it through the air. What a wonderful sight! It is the first airship seen over the city of Cambrai. Papa Berlot invites everyone to the cafe. They toast the valiant aeronaut. I'm not sure what valiant and aeronaut is, so I'm going to write that down too. Valiant aeronaut. So they toast the valiant aeronaut and each other, and Caesar, the brave Josette boy, and the pumpkins. Everyone is happy. Everyone but Louis Berlot. Now he has only one wish. He says to his family, I too will build a flying machine, a great white bird. We will work hard. We will all fly through the sky like air swallows. So here is Berlot, one. No one is small enough to sit in it but Manu, and she will not. It has a little motor to make the wings flap. Alas, it flies like a chicken. Never mind. There is more like it. Here is Berlot. I'm not sure what that symbol is. I'm going to write it down under clarification. But this is the second plane this man has built, so I'm going to call it Berlot 2. Here's Berlot 2, a glider, big enough to hold a man. Papa has not yet learned to fly, so Gabriel advised him his friend will fly. A motorboat will tow it into the air as the glider has no motor. All is in readiness. Gabriel gives the signal. Away roars the motorboat. Like a great swan, the beautiful glider rises into the air and shoots down into the river with a splash that frightens the fishes. Gabriel Weissen is wet, but not hurt. We almost flew, he says. Papa had decided to learn to fly himself. Burlette, another one of those symbols that's different, but it has 3 notches, so I'm going to call it Burlette 3. It has a fine motor and propeller, but it will not take off in the water. So Papa gives it 2 motors and 2 propellers to make it Burlette. I have no clue what that symbol is, but we're on the 4th model, so I will call it Burlette 4. Burlette 4 goes in beautiful circles. Papa is learning. I'm going to write that one down. So far, Mr. Burlette has created 4 different models of the flying contraption, all unsuccessful. The next Burlette hops over the ground like a rabbit. Papa is getting lots of practice. But Burlette number, still not sure what those symbols are, I'm still writing them down. It sails across the whole field before it hits rock. Not so bad. So I have a question. I know this is going on in France, so I wonder what other parts of the country or what other parts of the world is also trying to build the airplane. I want to research that later, so I'm going to write that question down. So, and with Burlette, another symbol we will write down. Papa has an airplane that really can fly. No matter that the inevitable happens, a slight crash, a broken rib, a black eye, to add to the list of breaks, sprains, bruises over the past 6 years. Now Papa is a real flyer, and the Burlette is a real aeroplane. How proud Elkesta, Charmaine, Suzette, Jeanette, Gabrielle, and Mama are. Only one thing remains, to prove how good the aeroplane is, to show the world what it can do. As if to light the spark, a great prize is offered to the first man to fly across the English Channel. So I predict this is the great flight that's going to happen to make Mr. Burlette famous. 20 miles wide, black tossing waves, fog and rain, a very cold bath, a long swim. It is a dangerous prospect, just what Papa likes. On July 25th, 1909, as the sun rises, Papa Burlette walks with his crutch. A minor flying accident, nothing serious. Out to the field where his plane Burlette, another symbol, waits. I wonder how many other people attempted to fly over this English Channel. I want to write that down too. He kisses Alcazette, Charmaine, Suzette, Jeanette, Gabrielle, and Mama. Below, Papa climbs into the cockpit. His friend, Alfred Leblanc, spins the propeller. It is 4:35 a.m. The motor coughs, sputters, and roars. Down the grassy field, Burlette bumps. She picks up speed and suddenly climbs into the sky. The French coast disappears. Far below is the destroyer Escopeta, waiting to pick up Papa if his motor fails, if it can find him in time. 10 minutes tick by. The waves reach up to catch the tiny plane. Now there is nothing but swirling fog. No France, no England, no waves. Papa is alone, lost. He sits motionless, not touching the steering lever, and lets the plane go where it will. Suddenly, the white cliffs of Dover flash beneath him, a wonderful moment. 36 minutes after taking off from France, Papa is over England. Papa stops his engine and makes a very bad landing, as usual. Never mind about a broken propeller, Louis Burlette is in England. He flew there in 37 minutes. What a shout goes up! Truly it was a glorious flight. So I'm going to summarize. This book was about Louis Burlette and his family and friends helping him make different flying contraptions, and he went through several models and learning how to fly himself and crashing multiple times, and he finally made a machine that worked, and he flew across, the first man to fly across the English Channel. So that was summarizing the book. I wrote several questions down, and I wrote several things I need to go back and clarify. So I am going to look these up in the dictionary and on Google and see if I can clarify the rest of these. Again, this is reciprocal teaching, and the 4 principles are predicting, questioning, clarifying, and summarizing.